Hey, Carl here for Homemade Strength, and today I'm going to show you this DIY neck harness I made. And although it looks incredibly stupid, it is cheap and it does function just like the commercial product. So I'm going to take this off here and show you what it looks like. Alright, and if you think I looked goofy, just take a look at this Muppet guy thing that I'm using. He really needs to use that harness. Look how spindly that neck is. He needs to get some width to balance that out, but this is what it looks like. This would be the front of his head, and of course that would be the back of his head. I just used these straps that I had. This is doubled up, so there are actually two. This is all two straps, double thickness. If you're buying this stuff, I would recommend you go with like a towing strap, or sometimes called lashing straps. They're usually a little wider and typically yellow, but they can handle a good 300 pounds at least, even the cheap ones that you can get at like Walmart. So you could go with that, and that will be plenty strong enough. And then I chose to sew everything to make it look a little nicer rather than, you know, tying knots or duct tape or all that. If you have a sewing machine, I would recommend you use it. If not, you can hand stitch it like I did. Just Google back stitch or how to back stitch. The back stitch is one of the strongest hand stitches, and it's quite simple, so nothing complicated. But use that, and use a stronger thread, like an upholstery thread or something like that. And then I like to double it up. So when I'm threading the needle, it's actually two thread thicknesses. And then I taped the bottom of this here, just because I use the same carabiners for everything, so I'm taking these on and off, and I didn't want to risk any wear to the strap itself, so just put some tape on it, duct tape. And if that ever wears down, I'll know to replace it before the strap starts wearing, if that's ever a problem. So the basic design of this whole thing is, you know, one strap that goes all the way around, and it goes through this little backpack thing and then out. So this is all one strap there. I can't even see. One strap going that way. And then it's another strap that goes all the way over, like there. And then of course it loops, comes back on itself, and then it's sewn to hold the carabiner on that end. And then this is really optional. The commercial design, you know, the Spud ink is what I base this off of, does not have this at all, but I just thought a little extra support on the back. I'll explain that a little bit later. But that's just one piece. Again, it loops back on itself on the ends, and it loops around those two, so it holds those together. Again, that's optional. At each, you know, cross joint or whatever you want to call it, I did the classic box and X that you see on, you know, backpacks and all that kind of stuff. That's a strong configuration to sew things together there. On the front, I went with this backpack strap just because I had it. Probably a better, or not necessarily better, but a simpler design would be to use Velcro, and then, you know, you just put, or hook and loop, technically. Velcro is the name brand. We just put a piece on that end, and then another piece on that end. And that would overlap, of course, and would just Velcro down to itself instead of having this. You might be thinking, well, is this strong enough? Is Velcro strong enough? This is not load-bearing at all. And you also might be thinking, won't this dig into your forehead? Again, this technically is not load-bearing. It shouldn't be digging at all, because the way the weight goes on it, the way you would wear it, if this is you wear this on the front, if you were doing, you know, bending over and doing extension work, like that, gravity would pull down the weight, which would transfer the force up this one and actually around the back. And so it's not on this at all. That's why the commercial product is Velcroed. It's not, doesn't have to be load bearing. And that's also why this won't dig into your forehead. But if you put it so tight that it was, where did I put that thing? I cannot find it. I had a piece of insulation foam, pipe insulation foam, that I now cannot find. Hold on. Here it is. This thing, just a little piece of that pipe insulation foam. You could put that, behind. Muppet's not going to cooperate one-handed, but like that to cover that. I don't find that necessary though. But if you want to look even dumber, that would be the way to do it. Of course, I would highly recommend you just do the Velcro. So that won't apply to anyone who's doing this. I believe it covered everything. Oh, except for this back strap. The commercial product does not have this back strap thing. I just thought, and as you saw in the beginning, my little demo there, if you're leaning over, this is the back of your head here. Again, the weight pulls down and then it transfers to this back strap here where my thumb is. So it's not even really on this per se, unless you're standing up, and then of course standing straight up, and then it is. But I just figured this would prevent it from sliding, forward. This strap sliding forward, because it ties it into this back strap. But again, commercial products don't have that. It's really probably not necessary, but I did it anyway, just for the hell of it. So I think I covered any of those concerns. And then of course you saw in the beginning how it's used. You put a chain between the two carabiners and you hang your weights off of that chain. So if you haven't already, check out my blog, homemadestrength.blogspot.com. Link will be in the description of this video. Some of you I know probably just found out about me on YouTube and probably don't even know about the blog. But the blog is my main thing, and I just use YouTube to embed videos to that. So I've got other projects, if you can see here, like these squat stands. I got this bench. Those are big projects that are not in video form, so they're not on YouTube, of course, and there's a whole lot more projects on the blog than that are on YouTube. So definitely check out the blog. Again, link in the description for a whole bunch of other projects. And thanks for watching.